Uh, Welcome to today's lesson. So today's lesson is about crop husbandry practices. This topic is the agriculture from 2, and you are with me, Andrew Cobby. So on crop husbandry practices, we're going to start with land preparation, and we have to know what land preparation is. So when we talk of land preparation, it involves the practices which are carried out on a particular piece of land to create a suitable soil tilth in readiness for planting. So there are some practices or activities which are carried out on the land, so that land should be ready for planting. So those activities are known as land preparations. So the size of soil clouds, the soil depth, and the looseness of the soil must be appropriate in order to facilitate the germination and establishment of the crops. So in order for crops to germinate and also to establish, we must consider the size of the soil clouds as well as the depth and the looseness of the soil. So timely land preparation and deep plowing create favorable conditions for easy management of subsequent field practices such as weeding and pest control. So land which has been prepared for the purpose of growing crops is called a seed bed. So the land which has been prepared, and the aim of preparing that land is to grow crops. That land is known as seed bed. Well, let's now look at importance of land preparation. Why is it important to prepare the land? So the first important is to remove vegetation which may interfere with subsequent operations, or which may interfere with the next operation or the following operations. So you have to remove the vegetation. Another important is to bury organic matter into the soil, which later decomposes. So if you do land preparation, it means you are burying organic matter, which will later decompose, and after decomposing it means they add nutrients to the soil. So land preparation also helps in binding soil particles as well as adding nutrients into the soil. So another important is to kill pests and diseases causing organisms. So if you prepare the land, it also helps to kill the pests as well as disease causing organisms. This is done by exposing the pest and disease causing organism to harsh weather, harsh environment conditions on the soil surface. That's at the end killing them. So yeah, if you expose this the soil-borne pests as well as disease-causing organisms to harsh weather conditions, it means at the end they will die. So that's some importance of land preparation. Another one is to kill perennial weeds like couch grass, which could otherwise compete with the crops. So if you prepare the land, it means you are removing the vegetation. So in such a way, you are also killing the perennial weeds, which could otherwise compete with the crops. And to improve the physical conditions of the soil by loosening soil, making it suitable for root development, that is root penetration. So land preparation also, it improves the physical condition, okay, by loosening the soil. So if the soil has been loosened, it means it will be easy for roots to penetrate. So another point is to facilitate proper anchorage of plants. So if you prepare the land, it means you are facilitating proper or encouraging the proper anchorage of the plants, and also to improve infiltration of water in the soil. So we have talked of loosening the soil. So if the soil is loose, it means water can easily infiltrate into the soil. So those are some of the advantages of land preparation. Another one is to try to bring up the surface, to bring up to the surface nutrients which are present in the subsoil section. So there are other nutrients which are present, they are present in the subsoil section. Therefore, if you prepare the land, you are bringing those nutrients to the surface so that they can be used by the crops and they can be benefit to the crops in the later stage. So let's look at operations which are involved in land preparation. So land preparation involves a number of operations. So these are some of the operations which are involved in land preparation. So the first one is land clearing. Then we've got primary cultivation, secondary cultivation, then tertiary cultivation. So we're going to look at each and every operation in details. So let's now start with land clearing. So when we talk of land clearing can be defined as removal of vegetation cover from the surface before plowing. So to clear is to remove the vegetation cover from the surface before you start plowing. So that's land clearing. So the vegetation can be trees, the previous season crop remains, weeds, grasses, shrubs, among others. So if you are clearing these what I've mentioned here, it means you are doing land clearing. So this is just a picture of a woman clearing the land. So you can see the woman is using a hoe clearing the grasses there. So that's land clearing. So land clearing, it involves the following activities. So talk of felling of trees and removal of tree stumps. So if you've got trees and you want to cultivate crops on such a land, it means you have to fell the trees and also remove the stumps of the trees. Then talk of slashing or cutting of tall grasses or shrubs or bushes. So you slash, talk of cutting grasses, that's land clearing. Talk of burning of vegetation. So burning of vegetation is also one way of clearing the land, though this one is not recommended because it destroys the soil structure and also kills some of the useful microorganisms. So in the process of burning, find that some of the useful microorganisms, they are killed. So fire can also spread it to an area where it was not intended. So if you burn, it means fire can also be spread into other area which were not intended. So that's why burning is not encouraged as one way of clearing the land. So land clearing can be done manually or can be done using chemicals or can be mechanized using machines. So you can do land clearing manually. So talk of manual is by using by using hands, then chemicals and using machine. So those are ways of doing land clearing. So let's start by looking at hand method. So when talk of hand methods, hand method, it involves the use of hand tools like slashers, machetes. So these machetes are just the same as pangas. So those are some of the tools which are used in hand method. So the use of tools is slow and therefore only a few hectares of land can be cleared over a long period of time. So if you are using these hand tools, the work will be done in a slow pace because it's the use of human effort. Therefore, a very big press, I mean, few hectares can be cleared in a very long period of time. So that's a disadvantage of using hand method. So this method leads to delay in seedbed preparation and may result in late planting and this consequently poor crop yields. So as we have already said that the use of hand method is very slow. So this one will delay in preparation and later on planting also delay, which will later lead to poor yields. So this method of land clearing is commonly used by small scale farmers because you cannot use this method in large, by large scale farmers because it's very slow. Therefore, things not work. Let's look at chemical methods. So on top of chemical methods, it involves the use of chemicals called herbicides, which kills weeds. So the herbicides will kill weeds, and if you are using herbicides to kill the weeds, this one is known as a chemical method. So these are some of the examples of herbicides which are used to kill the weeds. Talk of Roundup, talk of Gramazone, talk of atrazine, and among others. Of course, a lot of chemicals which are used to kill the weeds. Then we've got mechanical method. So talk of mechanical method. This involves the use of tractor-mounted implements. For example, talk of tractor with a chain to fell trees in a forest. We talk of a bulldozer, which is used to remove stumps. So this method is commonly used by large-scale farmers. So mechanical or using machines, mostly they're used by large-scale farmers. So let's look at advantages of mechanical methods. So mechanical method, it is efficient in land clearing. It's very efficient in the land clearing as compared to other methods. It has got a low labor requirements because if you talk of mechanical, it may be one person operating the machine. So low labor requirements. While we talk of uh, hand method, you cannot use one person to clear the land. You need a lot of people to clear the land. So this one, mechanical, it means it is low labor requirements. Then large area can be cleared within a short period of time. So it is very fast. You can clear a large piece of land within a short period of time. So let's look at limitations. So limitations are the same as disadvantages of mechanical method. So the first one is the cost of purchasing and maintaining the machine is high. So to buy the machine as well as to maintain the machine, the costs are very high. So those are some of the limitations of mechanical. Then let's look now at importance of land clearing in general. What are some of the importance of land clearing? So these are some of the importance of land clearing. So it makes subsequent preparations such as plowing easier and efficient. So if you prepare the land, it means next operations or subsequent operations will be easy, such as plowing. It will be easier to plow where the land has always been cleared. Then it helps in the eradication of pests and diseases. So certain crop diseases such as Maria roots rot, which affect tea bushes, can be prevented by removal and destruction of stumps. So if you clear the land, some of the pests as well as diseases can be removed. You know, some of the pests, they are harbored by the weeds. We talk of stumps. So if you clear, it means you are preventing the pests as well as diseases. So pests and animals such as squirrels, mice, and monkeys which destroy crops inhabit bushlands. So they inhabit in the bushland. So if you clear the bushes, you remove the grass, you remove the weeds, it means you are also uh, making these pests as well as animals to go away, because they will have nowhere to stay, or they cannot be inhabited in a place which is clear. Therefore, it is very important to clear the land. So another importance is land clearing. It helps to open virgin lands. Talk of forest land or bush areas cannot be cultivated unless they are first cleared of bush or forest. So there are other areas, these areas have not been cultivated before. So to start cultivating, you have to clear the land. So those are some of the importance of land clearing. So, however, forest areas, these are water catchment areas and they should be avoided. Um, Land clearing, it is a land reclamation method, especially in uh, warm, humid bushlands. Those areas are prone to flies, infestation, and are not suitable for human settlement and livestock keeping. So there are other areas whereby people they cannot settle there, and uh, livestock, you cannot keep livestock in those areas. So land clearing is reclamation. It means you can use land clearing to bring back that land whereby it can now be used. That's what it means by land reclamation method. So therefore, land clearing in such areas makes them become habitable by people and livestock. So the second one is primary cultivation. After land clearing, you go to primary cultivation. So on top of primary cultivation, this is the initial opening of the land, either after clearing the bush or after a previous season of cropping. So uh, after clearing the land, you start now digging the land. That one is known as primary cultivation, initial opening of the land after clearing the land. So primary cultivation can be carried out using hand tools or mechanically, using various tractor-drawn or ox-drawn plows. So primary cultivation, the initial opening of the land, you can use hand tools. You can use mechanical mechanical implements such as tractor drawn or ox drawn plows. So this is just an example of a tractor drawn uh, plow. So you can say that it is opening up the land which has been cleared. So this one is known as primary cultivation. So let's look at importance of primary cultivation. So primary cultivation, it makes subsequent operation easy, such as planting. So if you do primary operation, it means subsequent or next operation will be very easy. I've got so many operations after primary operations. So those operations will be easy uh, after primary cultivation. It facilitates aeration and water infiltration in the soil. So since you are opening up the land, it means you are loosening the land. Therefore, it will be easy for water to infiltrate in the soil, and also aeration will be very easy. And it controls weeds such as rhizomatous weeds by burying or uprooting them. So it's one way of controlling weeds by burying them or uprooting them. It also buries crop residues to decompose and add nutrients to the soil. So it's one way of burying crop residues in the soil. So after the crop residues have been buried in the soil, they decompose and they add nutrients in the soil. It is easy. It eases the penetration of the crop plots. So since you are saying that it loosens the soil, therefore the crop plots will be easy to penetrate into the soil. It also controls pests and diseases. So this can be done by exposing the pest as well as disease-causing organisms into harsh weather conditions, talk of to sunlight, so that they can scorch by the sun. They can be scorched by the sun, or they can be killed, or they can be eaten by the predators. So those are some of the importance of primary um, cultivation. So let's look at tools which are used in primary cultivation. So I've got hand tools or hand method. So hand method or hand tools, they are used by small scale farmers. So such tools are hoes, talk of fork hoes, we talk of ox plow, among others. Then we've got mechanical methods. So mechanical method, this they use it is mainly used in large scale farmers. So it involves the use of disc plows, talk of chisel plows, moldboard plows, rotary cultivators, among others. So initial capital and maintenance of these machines is very high. So that's a disadvantage of mechanical method. So let's look at factors that influence the choice of the tools and equipment used in primary cultivation. So when you're doing primary cultivation, you cannot just use any tool. You have to choose which tools to use during your primary cultivation. So there are factors which are influence the choice of the tools to be used. So the first one is type of the tilth required. So this will determine on the size of the seeds to be planted. For example, small seeds need fine tilth, hence many tools are used. So if you are to plant very small seeds or fine seeds, it means many tools will be used during primary cultivation, so that the soil should be made small. The soil particles should be very small, so we have to use many tools. Then we've got cultivation depth, second factor. So deep-rooted crops require a tool that will plow deep in the soil. So you have to use the tools that will plow deep in the soil if you are to cultivate deep-rooted crops. Then we've got type of soil. Heavy tools are required when plowing heavy soil. So I've got heavy soils and we've got light soils. So if you are cultivating heavy soils, it means you have to use heavy tools. Then soil moisture content also. So a forked hoe may be more suitable than a regular hoe in wet soils. So if we are using a regular hoe in wet soils, that wet soil, it will be sticking to the hole, unlike if you are using forked hole. So if the soil is having if the soil is wet, you have to use a forked hole, unlike a regular hole. So in steep areas, you are supposed to use animal drawn implements, unlike using tractor drawn implements. So these are some of the factors which affect the choice of tools to be used in primary cultivation. Then let's look at timing of primary cultivation. When can you do primary cultivation? So the best time to prepare the seedbed is during the dry season so that the weeds can be scorched by the sun. So yeah, you do primary cultivation in dry season so that the weeds should be scorched by the sun so that they should completely die. Then a seed bed which was previously cropped is best prepared immediately after harvesting. So after harvesting, you have to prepare the seed bed. Then early land preparation enables the farmer to plant early. So if you prepare the land early, planting will also be done early. So that's all I had in this presentation. So if there's any question, that's our WhatsApp number and that's our email. Thank you. See you in our next video.